Good morning, everybody. Right, I'm late. I'm gonna get you breakfast. First, I'm gonna close this gate up, which has been left open. I'm just so tired. Couldn't sleep. Really bad. Bones as well are hurting. Might be coming down with something again. Oh, who knows? They cloud seeded yesterday really heaps, so maybe it was from that stuff, whatever they were spraying. Not sure, but we'll go for a wander and get these guys fed. Now, today I'm going to leave my chickens in today because I've got a few things I need to do. So they'll stay in their pen today because I need to... Hey, Maggie! I've got to do some mowing and I've got someone coming to move some equipment and I've got to move a big old horse float thing up as well, which I'm going to turn into a new chicken pen, I think. It'll sit inside the pen. So when summer comes, there's going to be an extra place for the boys to sleep in. I think that's what we'll do with that. Other than that, we'll get everyone breakfast now and hopefully... Oh, Henry. Now I've got Honeybell's tea. Now I've got the chicken dinner and we'll get to go outside. go across and feed the other guys now because the goats are this morning. They're all happy. Got Fire over there, she's happy. Chickens are all happy. Time to feed the other guys. Now I'm running a bit late because I didn't get any sleep last night. It was a full moon and there was a lot of light, and I went for a drive in the middle of the night. It was pretty insane. Anyway, get this gate open ready for Miss Ellie. We do have someone picking up something today, so I've got to get everyone done before that person decides they're coming to turn up. So we'll do that. Yeah. I still don't know what time they're coming. They could turn up in 5 minutes or a few hours. Tocky, that's enough. That's enough. Oh, he's been really, really silly. I'm going to pop you guys here for a second. I'm going to go and grab dinner. Okay, watch it. Take that. Papa, move that. Back, back. Back, back, back. Back, back. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good dog. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Bobby, you're down in the other crate today. Right, let's see if Ellie's going to listen to us this morning and go nice and easy and slow. She might do. Oh, Miss Ellie, turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Good girl. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Walk on. Let's wait for her to decide to move herself along here. says, I'll better have a few goodies before I go. And I don't want to discourage her and start moving her along with too much force here, because I want her to be slowing down on her own accord, not moving faster. So we want her to take it easy. We've got time. Okay, bub. I'll just move in a little closer to her. Give her a pat. Morning, Richard. What's the temperature? I'm not sure. It's probably about 9 degrees, 10 degrees here. Celsius. Hi, Blue Butterfly. How you doing? Hi, Ivy. Hi, Claire. Hi, Selena. We're going to wait for her to go down that way. I'm going to close the gate up so we don't have escapees from the other car. We're going to see how she goes this morning. So we've got a bit of pick now because it's been a few days since she's been out on here. So there's a bit of pick there. We'll let her have a bit of a go. My main thing is I don't want her racing around, and she hasn't done that, so that's really good. I'm going to go ahead over here. Els, come on. Ellie. Fancy, come on. She'll come once she realises her tea's here. I'm going to show her her dinner. And hopefully she'll come through fairly quickly. Come on out. It's a good opportunity to break that up a little bit. Come on out. Come on. Come on, love. Come on. Yeah, she's being really silly. Now I might have to make her move forward. I'll ask her to come through. But we'll still get her to walk if we can. She's taking her time, so that's okay. I don't mind her taking a little bit of time. Yeah, we would like her to come and have her breakfast, so we're going to ask her to come through. Come on. Good girl. In your house. Good girl. In you go. Hi, love. Breakfast time. Let's go. She says, I'm not going to go in. I'm going over here. I'm going to ask her to go in now. There we go. And look at that. She's done really good this morning. Round of applause for Miss Ellie. Getting that done without any drama. No crazy stomping or bucking or being silly. She's maturing nicely this year. She does turn 5 in the next 2 months. So I'm pleased for her to be doing as well as she is at this age. Doing a really good job. She did really well. You ride a lot. Oh, that's good. What sort of horse have you got? Hey, Mark, how you going? Any karaoke tonight? Oh, I don't know. Do you mean Josh? I don't know what he's up to. I have no idea. Me, I don't know. I'll have to see how I'm feeling. I didn't sleep last night, so I've had no sleep. So whether I'm tired or not, I don't know. It depends on the day. Do you ride her? Yes, I do ride her. Yeah. When I'm not petrified, I'll get on. But I'm almost falling asleep actually in the sun. The sun's warming me right up. It's right on my back and it's making me feel sleepy. It does that. It's really nice. I might even fall asleep before the morning's out. Be good if I got some rest. Yeah, I mean, generally I'll do it pretty much, or somebody will do it. It's usually me. I think usually I'll do it because it helps me get tired enough to go to sleep. So if I haven't slept and I'm still awake, I'll probably do it just to get worn down. But I usually finish fairly early in the evening. So I usually go to bed at 7 p.m. during the winter, which is pretty early. Most people don't go to bed till a bit later, but I do go to bed fairly early. But last night we had a full moon and it was really odd. The stars were a bit strange. There were no stars compared to usual. There were hardly any there, maybe because of the full moon, I'm not sure. And it was just a weird night, very strange. The sky didn't look right, really weird. She's enjoying that there, munching away. Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Well, I've tried a lot over 20 years to do a lot of things to be helpful. So, but it's turned out that all that stuff that was attempted for 20 odd years, none of it went anywhere or did anything, and all he had to do was get a gold pen and off he went like a rocket. So that was really lucky. But yeah. It's funny like that. People spend their whole life trying to get somewhere doing one thing and then they suddenly get somewhere doing something they never thought they'd get somewhere doing, which is, it just goes to show things are very random in the world. There's no guarantees with anything that you do. It would have been nicer for him had he been known more for his music, because I think that that's the talent that really should have been what stood out. And hopefully still will. Hopefully maybe this gold thing will help promote that music and get that out there, because that's what he's worked hard on, and that's where everything's kind of been the crux of everything over the last 20 odd years, or even longer for him. But I've watched it for the last 20 years and he's puts in a lot of work and effort into making the music. So, and trust me, I've had many sleepless nights due to the making of these albums and songs, many sleepless nights hearing take after take after take after take in a house that had no soundproofing. So I've seen the entire raw process over and over and over again, and I can see how hard it is to get somewhere for somebody who does that as their thing. My heart goes out to musicians these days, especially with the way this AI and everything's happening. I think no one gets a really good deal on things anymore. Hey Kerry, how you going? Thank you. Yeah, she's very pretty, Ellie. A lot of people think Ellie's a boy, but she's a girl. Uh, Mark, you're right. He is a genius with music. He has been from day one. Um, I knew, like, as a child, my father was in a band, and he had, when I was very, very, very young, and I mean under 5, I used to get taken to band practice back in the 70s. And we got to meet all sorts of people, all sorts of people that then became super famous later on when I was a really small kid. And when I was around all those kinds of people, it's a hard, even then it was a hard industry to get into. But at least there were more live gigs and things happening and places to actually get recognised. Whereas nowadays everything's just online, and you're lucky if you can find a live gig anywhere. And then there's a lot of street buskers that are really great over here too. But very few people can produce, mix and master and do all the audio engineering of their own music. So they're really not, there's not that many people who can do it. And well, there's more people learning it now because AI is doing it for them, but he doesn't use AI. People will nowadays probably assume he does, but he's done it all by himself. And a lot of it he's done with old tape machines and things like that as well. So it hasn't been all digitally done onto a computer in the way that people might think. Also the concepts and things, he takes a long time putting thought in to get those concepts to work. And he's a perfectionist with his music. That's why it takes, some albums he'll do sometimes he does an album in one day, like a crazy album, and it works out really good. And then other times, what's the longest one? About 14 years it's still going. That album's been on the way, and it's sort of put to the side at the moment, but it's still happening. I really hope he finishes that one because I think that's probably his masterpiece of all time. But we've certainly had a road getting there. We've tried all sorts of things to try to get things to work, and it's, yeah, just a tough industry to crack. And of course these days people don't appreciate the older style music and what goes into making it and getting it out there and producing it. No one really appreciates it anymore. It's very sad. I don't know. This is why I never had dreams of becoming a musician, ever. I was too smart to realise it wasn't going to happen for very many people. So there's a lot of really great people out there that just can't get anywhere because of this modern world. I do hope that all the recognition he's getting for this gold turns into something a bit more than that, and that he gets more recognition for the actual passion that he has, which is the music. I mean, he has a passion for gold as well, but the music was the thing forever. So let's hope that happens. And it's funny because the animals here, they love music. If he's in there doing anything, they're never bothered by it. They're never bothered by drums or guitars or loud sound. They just cruise on past, ride the horses around while he's doing his thing, and it doesn't matter. This girl, you can play guitar on the back of her, you can play tambourines on her. She's actually really into music. She likes it. She'll come up, if you get the guitar, she'll come up and try and play it. It's quite funny. Yeah, you're right, Mark. If people will listen to it, he would get a following. But people have no patience to listen to anything. They want something for 10 seconds now, the younger people. He really would be more conjuring an older audience, I think, rather than young people, because young people's attention span has drastically dropped. I even find it with the animals and stuff. When I'm teaching young people, I'm constantly like, hey guys, wake up. You know, they get sidetracked every 5 seconds, and you can standing there with them with a horse, you're trying to teach them a valuable lesson with a horse. You're doing it for free, and the kid's just looking all over the darn place. And what I do with kids that do that, I just turn around and say, well, if you're not interested, go. Piss off and go. My time's valuable. I'll teach someone who actually wants to learn. And then they go, oh, what do? We better listen. Because I do it. If they don't listen and they come again and they don't listen the second time, that's it. They don't get a lesson again. They don't get come back. I don't like the way the generations are going at the moment. A lot of kids are just, well, they have no respect for their parents, and it's the parents' fault. The parents aren't doing the right thing. But I've had some kids go through here that have been, you know, at home, they're absolute monsters for their parents. By the time they've spent a day or two here with me, they go home and they're saying to mum and dad, what can I do to help clean the house? What can I do to do this so they can come back here? And it's, the parents were like, what the hell? What have you done? They're completely different. Well, I haven't done anything. You've just found what they really love. And if you find what somebody loves, they'll do anything to get it. I call it currency. It's just like working with money or gold. It works on any animal or any human. You find its currency and you can work with it. So I like to teach young people nowadays, when I'm talking to young people that I run into, I really like to emphasise to them that they need to really pick something and stick with it. And don't go fluttering all over the place, because if you flutter all over the place, you won't get good at anything. You'll get okay at everything, but not good at anything. And if you're really good at something and you're passionate for it, it shows, and you can get employment. People are more interested in employing you in that field. But it's getting so hard. It's getting very hard in this country. It's starting to become, a lot of young Australians are leaving the country and going elsewhere. I don't know where they're going. I think they're going to places like Indonesia and stuff, trying to get away from the costs over here because it's so expensive. I was lucky. I worked hard and got everything done super early. And always stuck within my means. That's another thing. You've got to stick within your means. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. Don't get into debt to get something. And actually, we've done really well over the years, because back when the market for antiques and things was a lot larger, and there were a lot more things out there, and no one really knew what things were worth, so things were going for reasonable prices. And then all of a sudden Google happened, and everybody's wanting $600 for the same thing, and it just doesn't work that way. But we used to do a lot of buy, sell and trade in musical instruments, and Josh actually became quite proficient in fixing a lot of musical instruments up, electronic keyboards and things like that. He got good at repairing organs and things like that. So had a lot of trade in the musical industry stuff. So we've seen and handled and had a lot of different instruments over the years. Several Hammonds, C3s, a lot of L100s, L111s, several Leslies over the years. He's got the A100, I think it is now. Tone wheel, and he fixed that up too, because the what's it called, the power supply part, which has got all the tubes and stuff, it blew up and it wasn't working, so he bypassed it. There was a fellow who taught him how to do it, and he bypassed it, and he got through it all and got to where he was able to get it going again. So he now knows how to repair and bypass the valve ends of the Hammond organs, which is a really good thing to know. But there again, they're going down in price now. No one's really interested in them. They're too big and bulky, and everyone wants to get rid of stuff and have everything electronic. And I regret it one day. One day, no one will have these things, and it'll be very sad. It'll all just be little digital files, and that'll be it. Hey, Lean Bear, how you doing? Cattle Strawberry Day. Oh, you like Caitlin Strawberry Day. Sorry, I haven't got my glasses on. I'm trying to sit back. Kids I teach, they'll pick up any little scrap of anything they can find and gaze at it as if it was the most fascinating thing ever. Yeah. At smartphone distance from their faces, of course. Yeah, but you're in a country that still values things. You see, Koreans still value, they have old-fashioned values. They still have even holding hands in Korea is a big deal. Like everything's back in the 1960s, literally, but you're in a modern era. But their thoughts and their patterns are behind. They're very honourable people, which is why I like Korea, because it's very similar to, well, I've got a really good moral compass, and I have very strong morals and values, and I won't compromise them for another person ever. I don't care who it is or what it is they're wanting. I just won't. I'm not easily led or anything like that. But I do like countries that have those values. But I like countries that have those values that aren't trying to impose things like Sharia law on somebody, because those are not a good place to go either. They might have values similar, but the way they enforce them is pretty crazy. So Korea's actually, I find it, and I've been totally fascinated by everything in Korea for quite a few years now, because my daughter was into K-dramas, and I was like, oh yeah. I used to be fascinated with Japan, to be honest. Japan was my first fascination, because I knew some Japanese prisoners of war that were in Australia when World War II was happening, and I had a couple of those who I used to do Meals on Wheels with when I was a young kid. I used to get dropped off. My father used to take me to do Meals on Wheels, and he'd drop me off, and I'd spend the entire time with one person each week, each time or each day, depending how many days a week we did. And sometimes we did 2 days, sometimes we did 4 days a week. So I'd spend a lot of time with older people who'd been through war, who'd been through all sorts of situations. I spent a lot of time with a lot of prisoners of the Germans, people who'd been in concentration camps as well. So I got to learn a lot as a young person. I had a lot of respect for a lot of things that young people these days, they don't get taught about it. They don't really know much about anything. They don't really understand how the world really works underneath the smoke and mirrors that the governments of the world want to put out there and keep us all flabbergasted with and looking at the wrong things. So they get this look at the right hand while the left hand's taking everything from underneath us. So I was fascinated with Japan for quite some time because of that. Plus also I was fascinated with Japan because of their musical instruments, the production of their musical instruments. And I found their instruments to be far more superior to the majority of instruments that are made. Longevity-wise, Japanese and Korea's got really good instruments as well. They'll last, and there's a lot to be said for a name brand. You know, Fender gets a lot of people go and buy Fender because of the name, but not all the Fender guitars are good. Not all of them are good. As a matter of fact, I've seen a few Fenders and played a few Fenders that were god-awful and horrible and uncomfortable. And people just buy them because it's a Fender, and then they play them and go, oh, it's not that good. Depending on what factory they're coming from. Now, if you get a Japanese Fender as opposed to an American Fender, a lot of people think the American Fenders are better. I don't think so. I think the Japanese Fenders are better. I'm not a guitar player, but whenever I've held a Japanese Fender and played on the neck of a Japanese Fender compared to a USA one, I like the Japanese one. Had a cherry red Japanese Strat years back that I think Josh swapped it for an actual USA Strat body that we found in the tip. Just someone went gaga over and we got this cherry red Japanese Strat. And I liked playing that. But the other one, the other USA ones I've played, like the one he's got now is alright. It's pretty alright. But honestly, I prefer my Ibanez to that. I even prefer the Greco. I've got a Greco, 1973 Greco, custom special Les Paul. And that one is probably the most comfortable guitar I've pretty much ever had to go on. And like I said, I can't play, but not an electric. But I liked it. Yeah, Japanese overlook nothing. That's right. They don't overlook things. They just, they're a bit of a perfectionists, I think. They're very, well, prior to World War II, the Japanese government was very, very hard on its own people. Very, very hard. And kind of like the Chinese can be now. Well, always have been. But it's coming to light a bit more now what they do. Actually, somebody had, I think it was Mr. Big Pipes, had a Chinese-made guitar. I think it was Chinese. I was like, what? It was an electric guitar. I think it was made in China. And he said, oh, it was apparently really, really rare to get. And I was like, made in China? What the heck? I think he paid a couple of $100 for it. I don't know if he's still got it. He probably has. He's a banjo guy. He likes banjos. But he bought this weird electric guitar. Must actually get back into putting the guitar on top of this horse again. I haven't done it for a while. Get her used to it again. It has been a while since we've done that. So I should do that soon. Oh, that might be what it is that he's got then. Yeah, because he just said it's made in China and apparently there's not a lot of them around, but people love them. I was like, all right. He said the neck is awesome, easy to play. And like, he's predominantly a guitarist, usually an acoustic guitarist, and then he went into banjo, and then he got this electric. He's a musical genius, Mr. Big Pipes. Yeah, he can tell you pretty much anything and everything about music, which is, I started watching him and realised he was an absolute genius pretty quickly. I was like, okay. I've been on his channel for a couple of years now, I think, but he hasn't got that big of a following either. He's kind of, this is the thing, all the people who are really good at music don't have followers. There's another fellow I watch called Oliver and the Twist. He's a professional musician who's worked professionally for years on end, and his whole life is working doing music, and he almost got monetised, and then they got him for a copyright strike over something he's been doing for years that they've never complained about. And now he's lucky if he gets 1 or 2 people in a stream, 6-hour stream. It's ridiculous. I've been trying to help plug him and share him out there, but YouTube are just kind of shadow banning everybody in that way. Anyone who's doing anything. And I mean, he does a lot of covers, but he's got his own music as well. Which, again, like Josh, he wants his music to get out there, and he's got pretty good music too. And different to what Josh does, but not progressive rock or anything like that, but still pretty good music. You're tossing that around. I don't know if I'm going to ride today. I haven't got much energy. I'm kind of half dead, yeah. I'm just like, oh, what to do? What to do when you haven't slept all day, all night? I was driving around town at 2 o'clock in the morning. Thought I'd see some kangaroos. I saw one, and then I saw Joey on its own. Couldn't see the mum. I don't know what happened to the mum. Just couldn't sleep. The moon was full, and sometimes when it's a full moon I can't sleep anyway, but of course the dreaded M word comes to mind, the menopause, is keeping me awake. Horrible thing for women to have to go through, but that's what happens. Such is life. And my friend was saying to me, oh, don't worry, you're just in the beginning. You've got about another 10 years of this. And I'm like, oh, God, no. I'm going to go and see a Chinese acupuncturist, see if he can't stab some needles into me and make me feel better. That's the next thing I'll try. That's what my mate does, and she reckons it helps, so I'll give it a whirl once and see what happens. I don't know how I'm going to go, though. I have a phobia of needles, and if I get up and freak out, I could end up hurting myself terribly and anybody who's in range of me. Hello, Bubby. You can't have that. She's trying to get the cat. So I've got the cat right here. Chappy, come up here. El Chapo, come. Come on, Chap. Chappy. Yeah, he doesn't want to do anything. Oh, here comes these 2 guys. Good morning. You good? You good? Oh, my knees are terrible. I really hope this man comes and picks up his panels today. I've got some cattle panels that he's coming to get. Hope he comes and takes them. Look at the day, it's beautiful. They haven't cloud seeded today either. I got a message from a fella I sold some army munitions box to. Used to collect all that stuff too. And it's been about 6 months since I've spoken to him, because he says, oh, keep an eye out, because there's a lot of people out here, the elderly people who sell up, and they've got massive sheds full of stuff that's just everyone wants to collect. So if there's one around, I'll go and have a look and buy it off them and find someone who wants it. And it's he sends me a message yesterday saying, have you been, well, because I said to him when I went and sold him this munitions box, watch the sky. Have you been watching the sky? He says, yes, I have. And I said, are you seeing all the grids up in the sky? Because I get sick when they do it. They actually sprayed heavily yesterday. I'm wondering if that's why I couldn't sleep last night and why I had pain. Probably. All my joints are terrible today. But they spray all these grids everywhere, and they've been doing it for the whole 10 years I've been out here. I've done everything. I've approached all the organisations, the FAA, the Army, the Air Force, and nobody will tell the truth about them or tell you what they're spraying or what it does to people and to animals. There's been a lot of higher rates of sheep and cattle death in birth, stillborns, things like that. It's kind of, yeah, I don't know what they're doing, but hopefully they leave the sky alone today. They did enough yesterday. And you'll see it in half an hour after they've sprayed it, there's massive clouds everywhere. And then they blow away and they go somewhere else and cause damage. But sometimes they blow here from somewhere else and cause damage here too. You can tell the difference between a real cloud and a seeded cloud. And if you watch the skies enough, you'll learn the patterns that they do. Everyone's called me mad for years on end. Now people are finally realising it's happening. Yeah. Oh, your poor wife. Oh my goodness. My condolences to her going through the menopause. It's terrible. And the other thing it does, it really stuffs the entire balance of your gut and your body and everything. It really just, it causes such a lot of imbalance, that's for sure. So I'm supposing they've probably got some good things in Korean medicine for traditional Korean medicine for things like that. I've got to be careful what I take though. I've had people try to give me Chinese medicine and I'm allergic to a lot of plants and things, so I've got to be careful. And seafood I'm allergic to as well. So things like krill and stuff I can't have. All the things that they make to help arthritis, which are fish oils and things like that, I can't take them. But one thing they do reckon is good, I don't know how ethical this is, but is emu oil. All the old farmers around here, they'll say to you, get your hold of some emu oil, rub it right on the joints, and you're going to find a massive difference. I actually was lucky. I learnt a lot of old remedies for horses and things with, I befriended an old farmer when I first moved out here, George, and he taught me a stack of stuff on what to do with things like greasy heel and colic and things like that to avoid having to pay $1,000 for a vet to come out and do exactly the same thing. So that was good. There's a lot of remedies out there that we just have forgotten, I think. Yeah, Matt. I think you're right about that because I have heard that you've got to be very, very careful. There's a lot of things if you mix it and you can really get yourself into some trouble. But I think I'll try the acupuncture. I've never tried that. I've been too scared to do it. But I think I'm at a point now. You get to a point where your pain levels are so bad you just don't care anymore. You'll try pretty much anything, including to the point of, you know, allowing yourself to have acupuncture when you're petrified of needles, which is, I don't care so much about it going in and if it hurts or not. I care about if I freak out and I decide to bolt and then I'm covered in acupuncture pins and needles and I'm running away freaking out. This is what I don't trust. I don't trust I won't freak out. I'll tell you a funny story that happened. I had a dental appointment years ago and I had a what's it called? A wisdom tooth that was needing to be cut out. And they numbed me up and they said, yep, you're numb and whatnot. And they tested everything. It felt numb. But when they pulled on it, they hadn't numbed up at the top of the root. And I felt every single thing and it was excruciating and it was sudden. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is terrible. Watch out. Hey, buddy, get away, she'll bite you. She's coming over to get the cat. here she is. I want to get the cat. Anyhow, I'm in the dentist's chair screaming blue murder. They're like, what's going on, what's going on? I said, I can feel everything, help. Anyway, they're all panicking because it was students doing it, because I can't afford a proper dentist. So the students are panicking and looking for the professor. I get up out of the chair, blood everywhere, half a wisdom tooth hanging halfway out, in complete agony, and I just ran straight out into the waiting room full of about 40 or 50 people. All the poor buggers all waiting to get their teeth done. What a horrific show to see. And I was just like running. And then they're just like, come back. You need to come back. We can't take it out like this. We'll numb you up. Come back. And I'm just like, oh, I can't. I couldn't stop running. It was such pain. It was worse than childbirth. Anyway, they got me back in the chair. They numbed me up and they pulled it out. And then they said to me, you got 3 more that need to come out. We're going to knock you out for the next 3. So they knocked me out the next time. Took the whole lot at once, which was good. So I don't trust myself not to get up. And I'm like a horse, very similar to a horse. I have a fight or flight response that's very similar to a horse. Horses run and I run too. Hello? Are you looking for some of that? Eh? What are you doing, girlie? What are you doing? She is very lovely. Hey, Michael, how you doing? Acupuncture can do absolute wonders. Yeah. Just keep your eyes shut. Yeah. I think I'll be okay with it if I get someone who's patient with me. That's the key to me. You got to have patience. If you don't have patience and you start yelling at me, you're going to get a monster back, because I won't take it. You start showing aggression towards me, you better be ready, because I'm going to come back at you 10 times worse. I'm a bit like Miss Ellie here. You show her aggression, she'll go at you really badly. But if you're patient and calm with her, she'll let you work with her. I'm the same as her. Look at this girl. She's having a snooze, Miss Sarah. But yeah, I think it'd be okay if I just get someone who's not, who's, calm and quiet. But the lady who told me where to go, she goes to this certain fellow. He's an elderly man. She said he is so calm and quiet and patient. She said, I think he might be a horseman because he's so patient. So I'll ask him when I go if he is. But be interesting to see. She's tired, this girl. She's always standing in the sun trying to get warm, the poor thing. Good morning, bub. See what attitude she wants me when I go and approach her. Good morning. Says I want to get out. She wants out. She wants out. We're not going out though. And then he's over here doing his vacuuming everything back up. I'll tell you what, I'm glad it's a really lovely day. Really hope that it stays like this. Never can tell what's going to happen. Morning, Talk. Let's have a look at that foot. It's actually gotten better. Forward. So when I did his hoof the other day and I did a little mark across where the hoof was broken, it's actually working, it's welding back together, which is really good. So that means he's okay for a bit longer and I should be able to get that hoof to grow out without a problem. Makes things a lot easier. I haven't seen many birds the last couple of days up on here. There was one yesterday. Oh no, there's one over there. Oh, let's see if we can zoom into that one. Right on the ridge. Now I'm going to zoom up. A little tiny speck up on the ridge. So I think I've been out here for just over an hour, so I might finish up and get ready for the day. Don't know if I'm going to ride anybody today. I think I'm a bit tired and a bit sore. Might have a break. Got a lot of poop over there I've got to go scoop up and get that happening. We'll see how we go. Okay guys, thanks for dropping by. Hope you have a lovely day and I'll catch you all later. Have a wonderful day.